You're watching NFL Daily by Chat Sports. I am Will Scott answering your questions live during our NFL Daily live show. If you missed our last live show on our last mailbag, we go live every Monday and Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So subscribe and join us for our weekly live shows. We have a lot of fun interacting with our audience. Subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button below, and that is the sublink you're seeing on screen at youtube.com/chatsportstv. Brady with our first question. Will Zeke retire because no one looks interested? I'd be very surprised if Zeke retired. Now, he's made a lot of money, more money than most running backs will make in their career, but I would be surprised if he retired. I think some team will ultimately sign him. Now, I don't think he's going to be a number one back again, but, might be a good second back for a team that needs a little bit more depth at that position. Toon saying Panthers need a true number one wide receiver. What do you see them doing and getting, trade or draft? That's a great question. I haven't really seen them linked to DeAndre Hopkins that much. I think it makes sense, but they did sign Adam Thielen. They did sign DJ Shark. That wide receiver room is not atrocious. You have a little bit of talent there. And, a lot of people are saying, they shouldn't have traded DJ Moore. That was a mistake. Well, you had to trade DJ Moore to get that deal done, I think, because the Bears, I think, really wanted DJ Moore. But DJ Moore is replaceable. He's a really good player, but I think you can replace him by going out and drafting a wide receiver, maybe trading for one. Maybe they'll draft one second round. I don't know if Zay Flowers is going to fall that far. Doubt he will, but that would be amazing if you're Carolina. Parlay saying, will the Eagles trade back even if Jalen Carter is available at number 10? I don't think they're going to trade back. I don't. If they're set on Bijan and they have intel that Bijan's not going top 20, they may trade back to number 15 or 16 and then draft Bijan there. But I would be a little bit surprised if they traded back, and especially if Jalen Carter's there at number 10. Chad Brand saying, will Hendon Hooker be a first-round pick? I'll tell you what, there's a lot of buzz right now about that. Bruce Feldman, his latest mock draft. If you haven't checked out that video, be sure to do so. That link will be in the comments in the description of this video. But there's certainly a lot of buzz about Hendon Hooker being a first-round pick. Bruce Feldman has him going to the Vikings in the first round. So his rehab is apparently going really well after the torn ACL. We'll see. I still expect him to be a second-round pick. Who should draft Hendon Hooker? Let me know down in the comment section. The Vikings have been linked. The Saints are also meeting with him, which I found very interesting because they just signed Derek Carr to this multi-year deal. So we'll see. But let me know down in the comment section who should draft Hendon Hooker. Laceville 79, we appreciate it. Do you think the Texans will trade back that far at 12? So I think you're referencing Bruce Feldman's mock draft that had the Texans trading back from 12 to 25. Do I expect that to happen? No. But let's say they take a quarterback in number 2, which they probably will in Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. And they are so set on Addison or Johnston, and they have intel they're going to go later in the first round, then yeah, maybe they'll trade back. But I expect them to draft a wide receiver at 12, whether that's JSN, Addison, or Johnston at TCU. Arthur Smith, Falcons head coach. Well, what do you think Trey Lance's trade value would be in a trade? Third-round pick, maybe. I understand he's, former top 3 pick, but I would say third-round pick. And I would also say the Tennessee Titans are a team to watch there. Maybe the Washington Commanders as well make some sense. Junior Strada, watching from Mexico as always. We appreciate you, man. Who says no? Patriots get Lamar Jackson. Ravens get number 14th overall pick in Mac Jones. The Ravens would say no. I think the Ravens want more. I don't know if they'd be satisfied with Mac Jones and a first-round pick. I would say this. I don't think it'll happen. I don't think it should happen. Let's say the Dolphins trade a future first and Tua. That might be enough to get it done. But Mac Jones is just not on that level, I don't think. So I think they'd still want at least 2 first-round picks for Lamar Jackson. We're talking about a potential trade. But the Patriots seem to be emerging as a possible suitor here for Jackson. We'll have to wait and see. Got the draft coming up later this month. Very exciting. I think we're all very excited. Go and support your team by getting their draft hat at chatsports.com/NFL draft hat. Have one for every single team, and they're so fresh this year. Really like what they've done with this year's draft hats. chatsports.com/NFL draft. Go and get yours right now. Got the Ravens, the Saints, the Cowboys as well. chatsports.com/NFL draft hats. Every team is available. That link is in the comments in the description of today's video. Dominic Schrader asking if the Steelers want to fix the left tackle spot without spending too much, they should trade 32 in next year's second to move up for Anton Harrison. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely think they need to do something with that left tackle spot, Dominic. Kenny Pickett was pressured too much. You want to see if Pickett's the guy. This is a really big year for Pickett. You got to do something about left tackle. Next question coming in from, it's an interesting text there. Doom something. Where do you think Bud Dupree is going to play? Yeah, he's still out there and available. I haven't really heard much on his front lately. Let me see here. I really haven't heard much. I will say that I have, I'm looking right now, apparently the Steelers have been linked to him, but he remains unsigned following that visit. So we'll see. But I guess if there's a front runner right now, it's probably the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kurt LaPlante. What's up, Kurt? Good to see you, man. Should the Dolphins trade Cedric Wilson? Yes, they should. You would save over $6 million in cap space moving Ced. Right now, the Dolphins have no cap space whatsoever, and Cedric Wilson only had a couple of receptions last year. So I think they should trade him. Yeah, you're probably only going to get like a sixth or a seventh for him, but it's more about the cap space situation. So I would say yes. Kali Lama saying, if Pats miss out on a trade for D-Hop, Judy, or Sutton, or sign OBJ, what's a better option? Sign Jarvis Landry or draft a wide receiver? Draft a wide receiver, no question. Jarvis is not the same. He is out of his prime, still looking for a new home in free agency. Hopefully he finds one, but I don't think it's going to be New England. Draft a wide receiver, yeah. I would definitely draft a wide receiver. You do have, pick middle of the first round. Quentin Johnston might be there. Jordan Addison might be there. JSN. Zay Flowers. There's some good options there for you. Andy from Bills Mafia. We appreciate the question. Are the Patriots the hardest team to mock ever? Belichick takes whoever he wants, no matter what. They're pretty tough, I would say, Andy. No question about it. Tom Downey does a lot of our mock drafts here, and I'm sure he would say the same thing. But whoever the Patriots take, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But a lot of times it works out for them. They've won a lot of Super Bowls. So, Winland Witt, we appreciate the question. Watching from the Philippines. Who would you take in the draft with pick 51 for the Dolphins? Darnell Washington or a top center, linebacker Jack Campbell, or offensive tackle? Do you mean Broderick Jones? Because he's not going to fall that far. He's going to be a first-round pick. I would take Darnell Washington, but I would be shocked if he fell to 51, Winland. Would not have been shocked before the Combine, but his Combine vaulted him from a late second-round pick to a early second-round pick, maybe even a late first-round pick. So I would take Darnell, but I'd be surprised if he's still available. Edmund Wallace saying, could the Bengals trade for Austin Ekeler? Yeah, Ekeler, his apparently requested trade. We'll see what happens. He did have 13 touchdowns this past season, 915 yards, 204 carries, heck of a talent. And there's a lot of uncertainty about Joe Mixon's future in Cincinnati. So Ekeler could make a lot of sense for a Bengals team that's continuing to build. They want to win a Super Bowl, so they could go all in here and maybe trade for Austin Ekeler. Should the Bengals trade for Austin Ekeler? Type Y for yes or type in for no down in the comment section. Go down and let me know. I would say yes. I think Cincinnati should do it. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Evan Fullerton. Is Cam Newton done in the NFL? Yeah, probably. And look, I think he's better than some backups out there, but the problem is, like, if you sign him, that creates maybe a little bit of drama because he's probably going to want to start. So I don't know. I would say he's probably done. He was at Auburn's Pro Day recently, had an okay performance at the Pro Day, missed a couple throws, but did showcase that arm. But I would be surprised if Cam plays again. I hope he does. I'm a Cam Newton fan. I hope he does play again. But I would be a little bit surprised because I just don't think teams are going to want to sign him as a backup. I will say this. Let's say a playoff team is just in a really difficult quarterback situation where their top two quarterbacks get hurt, then maybe that opens the door for Cam Newton next year. Neil, we appreciate the question. Where's OBJ going to sign? That's the $1 million question, Neil. We're still waiting. Been waiting for a long time. And this time last year, we were talking about OBJ's next team. I think it'll be the Jets. I really do. Parlay. Does DeAndre Hopkins find a new team? Yeah, I think he's for sure out of Arizona. I think the question is he going to get cut or is he going to get traded? Seems to be looking like a potential cut candidate. We'll see. But I think his new team will be the New York Football Giants. Evan Fullerton. Is Will Levis or Anthony Richardson more ready to start week one? Woo! Neither? I mean, that's a tough question. I would say Levis. I just think Levis has the tools to be really good. But I think Richardson has more upside. Levis might be more NFL ready. He has a little bit more starting experience in college than Richardson. This was Richardson's first year as a full-time starter at Florida. So that's kind of my thinking right there. But I do really like the upside with Richardson. But in terms of NFL ready right now, it's probably Will Levis.